James 2:11. For he who said, "Do not commit adultery," also said, "Do not commit murder." Now, if you do not commit adultery, but you do commit murder, you have become a transgressor of the law. So transgressor of the law, that's criminal or lawbreaker. Now, James just finished talking about if you stumble in one point of the law, even if it's a little one, you're still guilty. Now he picks up here, and he's trying to get rid of the excuse, "At least I didn't do that." So he's using two of the 10 commandments found in Exodus 20. So he could have possibly even used, well, I don't swear, but I do lie on my neighbor, or I clock into, at least I don't clock into work early. So he's trying to remove that excuse here because it's even the small things. If you decide you're not going to treat somebody with dignity or respect or love because they didn't deserve it, well, now you're not treating your neighbor as yourself. You are now guilty of all. Parents, sometimes we'll tell our kids, "Hey, go clean your room and do your homework." And they go upstairs and they clean the room. And then, I did it. No. You were still disobedient. You're still dirty because you haven't done the second of the two. You still didn't do your homework. So we do want to talk about this murder real quick. Murder, by definition, is killing somebody without a good reason. So we're not talking about war, and we're not talking about self-defense when it comes to killing another human being when it comes to murder. Now, when it comes to this, become a transgressor of the law, let's break up this word law, or break down this word law a little bit. So there's three main types of laws. We have natural law, we have moral law, and we have civil law. So natural law first up, that's the types of things that we see in nature. And I'm just going to use a couple examples so we get an idea of what we're talking about here. So for natural law, if one animal comes to eat another animal, the animal that's going to be eating will try and defend itself. So self-defense we see in nature. The other thing too is if we have like dogs and you take your dog for a walk, or you just let them out in the backyard, they're going out, they're peeing all over the yard. They're marking their territory. So this is my yard over here. So animals have an idea of private property. Okay, so that's nature's law or natural law. And then when we go to moral law, so these are ones that we don't see in nature, but God has put down. So murder being one of them. So now if you look at the animals, when they go to eat each other, right, that's not considered a moral sin. But if a human tries to go kill another human without good reason, well, that now is a moral sin. So God is saying it's okay for animals to do it because that's nature's law, but we're not killing humans. We're not going to murder people. So that is a moral law. We don't see it in nature. Another example is most animals are not monogamous. They will mate with whoever is available. So God said no. That's called fornication or whatever the word is there, and that's not something as humans you should be doing. So that's part of moral law. So we got nature's law, things that we see in nature, moral law, Old Testament, and Exodus 20 is a great place to go for that. And then civil law would be the third one. So these are ones in our civilization that we can vote on. Sometimes they can change and that type of stuff. So an example could be speed limits. I know when I was growing up, the speed limit across the nation was 55. You couldn't go more than 55 anywhere. And then the government relaxed that and they bumped it up, the federal government. So those ones are ones that you can vote on and they can change over time, is your civil laws. So you can't vote on whether or not it's okay to murder somebody. That's always going to be wrong. So that's really what James is talking about here. And again, he's using moral laws on here. He's not using civil laws when he says transgressor of the law. So if you're breaking natural law or moral law, that's what he's getting at. He's not talking about speed limits and that type of stuff. Although you could include that in as making mistakes and that type of stuff, especially when you got the lights behind you. Okay, so that's a quick breakdown of the law, and James is trying to get rid of the excuse, "At least I didn't do that." Yeah, you still made a mistake. You still need Jesus.